Let's embark on a journey across the globe to explore the countries with the most diverse populations. We have put together a list of all the countries that have at least 3 different languages, religions or races that account for more than 5% of the population in at least 2 of these 3 categories. Our journey begins in the South American country of Suriname. During the 19th century, its Dutch colonizers brought people from all over the world in order to work on this tropical country's sugar plantations. As a result, over 35% of Suriname's people have African ancestry, while over 27% of its people have South Asian ancestry. In addition, 14% of its people have Indonesian roots and 7% have Chinese origins. Although around 50% of Suriname's people are Christian, over 22% are Hindu, and over 13% are Muslim. Guyana is a former British colony that is on Suriname's western border. It is another extremely diverse country since the British brought Africans and indentured laborers to work in the country's rice and sugarcane farms. More than 40% of Guyana's people have their origins in South Asia. In addition, over 30% have African ancestry. Furthermore, the indigenous people of Guyana make up around 10% of the population. While the majority of people in Guyana are either Protestant or Catholic, around 25% of its population is Hindu, and around 7% practice Islam. Shifting our focus to the Middle East, one nation known for its rapid modernization is Qatar. To build its infrastructure, Qatar allows employers to sponsor foreign workers. In fact, it is estimated that over 85% of its people are expatriates. Interestingly enough, the majority of Qatar's people are from South Asia. Qataris only make up 10% of its population. In addition, more than 7% are from the Philippines. Qatar is predominantly Muslim, but at least 15% of its people are Hindu, and around 13% are Christian. The United Arab Emirates is another extremely diverse country in the Middle East. Like Qatar, expatriates constitute over 80% of the total population. They work in various sectors such as construction, finance and healthcare. In fact, citizens of the United Arab Emirates only account for 10% of the population. Over 60% are from South Asia, while over 5% are from the Philippines. Although 75% of its people are Muslim, at least 5% of its people are Christian, and over 5% are Hindu as well. Moving on to Southeast Asia, we find the country of Malaysia. From the early Malay kingdoms to the arrival of Indian and Chinese traders, each wave of migration left its indelible mark on the Malaysian landscape. While the vast majority of its people speak Malay natively, around 5% of its people speak the Tamil language that originated in South Asia, and over 5% of its people speak Hokkien Chinese. The majority of Malaysia's population practices Islam. However, about 20% of its people are Buddhist. Christians and Hindus each make up at least 5% of the population as well. Singapore, the bustling cosmopolitan city-state, used to be a part of Malaysia. Its strategic location along major trade routes has historically made it a melting pot of cultures. Singapore saw the arrival of people from different parts of the British Empire. Due to its colonial history, about half of its population natively speaks English. However, 30% of its people speak Mandarin Chinese. Around 10% of people in Singapore natively speak Malay. Although 30% of its people are Buddhist, Singapore is one of the most religiously diverse countries. Over 20% of its people are either Protestant or Catholic, and over 15% of its people are Muslim. Moving on to Central America, we have the beautiful country of Belize. Like Singapore, it was once a British colony before becoming independent. However, due to its proximity to Mexico and Guatemala, it has a lot of Spanish influence as well. Most Belizeans are of multiracial descent with mixed indigenous and European ancestry. However, over 25% of the population has African origins. In addition, 10% of its people have purely Mayan ancestry. Although English is the only official language in Belize, more than 40% of the people in Belize natively speak Spanish. Furthermore, more than 10% speak Mayan languages. Situated in the Indian Ocean, Mauritius is a small island nation off the coast of Madagascar. The country was uninhabited before it was colonized by both the French and the British. The ancestors of many Mauritians were brought to the island to work in its sugar plantations. Most of its people have South Asian ancestry. However, a high percentage have their origins in the African mainland too. Around 5% of its people have European ancestry. About half of its people are Hindu, while 32% are Christian and over 17% are Muslim. Nestled in the Himalayas between China and India, Nepal is a land of diverse cultures and landscapes. In fact, Nepal can be divided into more than 60 different ethnic groups. Most of the major languages natively spoken in Nepal are either Indo-European or Sino-Tibetan. Over 40% of people in the country speak Nepali. The Maithili language accounts for more than 10% of the population, while at least 3 other languages are spoken by 5% of its people. Nepal has the highest percentage of Hindus in the world. However, over 8% of its people are Buddhist, and about 5% are Muslim. Venturing onto West Africa, we encounter Guinea-Bissau, a nation blessed with cultural richness. Over centuries, various ethnic groups have migrated to the region. The country was once a Portuguese colony before gaining its independence. As a result, Portuguese is its official language, but many indigenous languages are also spoken. Fula is the native language of over 15% of its people. Balanta and Mandinka are also prominent languages in Guinea-Bissau. Islam is the most commonly followed religion in the country. However, religious diversity thrives as Christianity makes up 20%, along with indigenous African religions practiced by various ethnic groups. Our journey continues to Burkina Faso, another West African country known for its cultural diversity. Burkina Faso has been a site of historical migrations and settlements of various ethnic groups. Over centuries, groups such as the Mossi, Fulani, Bobo, Gurunsi and others have migrated to the region. French is the official language, but indigenous languages are also prevalent. Over half of its people natively speak Moor, but several other languages are spoken by more than 5% of the population as well. Burkina Faso is characterized by religious diversity, with Islam and Christianity coexisting among its people. Indigenous African religions are also common. Togo is located to the south of Burkina Faso. The country is well known for its cultural diversity. In fact, it is home to more than 40 different ethnic groups. Like Burkina Faso, French is the official language, but numerous indigenous languages are also used. Yu and Kabia are 2 of Togo's most commonly spoken languages. Christianity and Islam are the predominant religions, with indigenous beliefs also practiced among certain ethnic groups. Interestingly enough, Togo has the highest percentage of people who believe in voodoo in the world. Next, we have Benin, a country on Togo's eastern border. Benin has a rich history of powerful kingdoms and empires, such as the Dahomey Kingdom and the Oyo Empire. It is another West African country that was once colonized by France. While French is the official language in Benin, Fon and Yoruba dominate in the south, while in the north, regionally significant languages like Bariba and Fulfulde contribute to the country's linguistic diversity. Furthermore, over half of Benin's people are Christian, 1/4 are Muslim, and a significant portion still have traditional African religious beliefs. Finally, let's take a look at the East African country of South Sudan, a landlocked nation brimming with cultural diversity. It used to be part of Sudan before becoming independent in 2011. Unlike Sudan, the majority of its people are Christian. More than 30% still follow indigenous religions, while just 6% of its people are Muslim. English is the official language of South Sudan. However, there are over 60 indigenous languages spoken in the country. Dinka, Nua, Shilluk, Bari and Zanda are some of the most widespread. The countries we've explored today serve as beacons of harmony amidst diversity, showcasing the beauty of multiculturalism. Diversity isn't just about coexistence. It's about celebration and mutual respect for differences. Please like and subscribe to the Objective List channel, as there will be even more interesting videos coming soon. For more insights and analysis, please visit objectivelists.com for new and thought-provoking articles about our world.